And the Impact Gurus, I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to it. Are back for another Impact Wrestling review. And I will say, I did invite Casey this time, but he was looking for the free 99 version, and I didn't have that. So I'm just saying. But we're gonna talk about Impact Wrestling Rebellion. Did Impact do it right again? And I just did that. Anyway, what's going on, good people? DJ here from the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast. My boy. I'm trying to do the thing right. I'm trying to y'all don't know. This is like secret. This is secret talk to figure out which direction my hand's supposed to go. But my boy Justin from the Juggernaut Show over there, and we just talking about this Impact Wrestling Rebellion show that just happened on Sunday. It's taking me a little bit of time to watch it, but better late than never, right? But Impact Wrestling Rebellion. I got a couple of questions for Justin for later on in the show if I remember. If I don't, then I won't get to him and he won't ever. But anyway, overall thoughts. Let's just start there. Overall thoughts. While everybody gets settled in, everybody gets in here. Everybody gets their chance to get their popcorn and they drink, and gets the chance to subscribe to the true JSB over there. Gets to subscribe to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast. Actually, you're Juggernaut 097 on YouTube. So they get their chances to subscribe and everything, and they get their chances to heart our podcast on the audio platform. While they doing that, overall thoughts on the show. I'm going to start with you, Justin.
So my overall thoughts on Rebellion. I thought it was a really solid wrestling show. Like there was no bad matches on there. Like everything was like pretty much good to great. Even the matches I didn't really care about that much were good. And I kind of enjoyed the set for the show that they were doing. Like I still don't like how they shoot the show towards the ramp. Like I rather have the the hard cam be pointed.
I didn't notice that. I don't know. Like I somehow like one of the weird things that for whatever reason I did not notice that.
Mm-hmm.
They did that.
Yeah.
I watched the whole show and didn't notice they shot it that way.
Yeah, they shot it towards the ramp, which I get. They're in a smaller arena and stuff, but I'd rather not be looking. I don't want to be looking at a stage during the whole time. Be looking at a whole bunch of LED lights. I want to be looking at some of the fans' reactions because sometimes fans can help make a show better. It can help improve a match. And seeing reactions like oh man, let's see what that guy green shirt guy was doing, or but yeah, I actually enjoyed the set that they were using. It was different. Impact, they always have their technical difficulties. It seems like on every pay-per-view.
Did they cue to the announcers late in this show? Or they started recording. So it was weird because they started recording late. It felt like on Fight, and then they ended the recording late for some reason.
Yeah, because I think it was okay. So they were on the kickoff or whatever it was, a countdown to Rebellion, and then it goes I guess they might have been queued late. It could have been a technical difficulty there. Yeah. They were timely queued there, which I didn't understand that. And like I said, some of the audio issues, you heard someone with commentary, you heard them over the PA system, and I thought that was
that was weird.
It seems like that happens on every show, and also some backstage interviews. You couldn't I think it was with the X Division title, Trey Miguel, he was getting interviewed, but we didn't know what he was saying because the interview never happened.
Could we?
Yeah, so some of the audio was not the greatest, but that it seems like it seems like we're always beating a dead horse. It happens with every Impact pay-per-view, but the in-ring quality of the show was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Great. Yeah, I thought overall the show was pretty good. Kind of like you said, it was good to great throughout the show. Impact does have a way of the matches I don't really care about, or the matches I don't really understand, or I've been out of the loop for a little bit. They have a way of like getting me back interested again, getting me back into it again, which is good. Because I mean, there was a couple of matches just for the sake of time. At the time I was watching the show and trying to get ready for the review and everything, that I kind of just wanted to either skip completely or skip through, but I still ended up watching them. And Impact just, I don't know, they just tug on my heartstrings, man. I don't know what it is, man. It was funny. I was talking to some people at work about this, and I was like, if somebody would just pour some freaking money into Impact, it would be a really good company. I mean, it really would. I feel like they have the creative minds. I feel like they've just lost the respect of the wrestling fan base, which and we all know this. Once you lose the respect of the wrestling fan base, good freaking luck getting it back. No matter, unless you're like, I mean, WWE is the only, and I hate to say invincible wrestling company right now, but like I don't see anybody giving up on WWE no matter how hard it gets.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I mean, even with AEW, people for whatever reason they want to give up on them, or they have given up on them, and that's just how they feel. But Impact is one of those companies where I'm just like, man, I wish somebody would pour some money into them. I wish there was a Shad Khan or Shaquille O'Neal or Snoop Dogg or something who would just pour some money into this company and really take them to not necessarily new heights, because they've been a top wrestling company in the world before, but
Would you say take them straight to the moon?
Straight to the moon. Yep, take them straight to the moon. I feel like I just feel so bad for Impact sometimes, because they tried so hard to compete, and ultimately ended up losing them a lot of money, and now they're in the situation that they're in now, and it just sucks. It just sucks because Impact is still to this day one of my favorite companies to watch. Most of the time I find myself watching the show because Justin tells me to, so we can do a review. But even still, I end up watching the show and enjoying the show. And if I watched wrestling as much as I used to, in terms of weekly, Impact would be a show that I definitely watch on a weekly basis, because they just do some good stuff. They just do some good stuff. It was cool to see Perazo and Grace main event too. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised. I was like, oh wait, ain't there another match on the show? When we got to the world title match.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with the points you were saying there, and also I think Impact is happy like with the situation like they're in, like they just be doing their own things. They're not worrying about WWE like AEW. They're not taking shots at them. They're just kind of like doing their own thing right now, which I respect it. And so I was talking to you on the phone earlier, like I was saying, maybe I kind of like that they're doing these smaller arenas, because they're packing out these for these pay-per-views. They're packing out these pay-per-views. So that's doing something, like rather than having like a big venue where you can't sell out the whole show. I mean, something different there. So I like that. And then also, people are going like, oh, like talking about how AEW is the alternative to WWE, but Impact has always been the alternative. When people complain about WWE, like there's always been Impact there. But people wanted people heard the name Impact Wrestling or TNA. They're like, oh, they're going to do some terrible stuff.
And I mean, Impact's been in a lose-lose situation since day one. Because, I mean, people doubted them since day one. They wanted them to fail since day one. They wanted them to be different from WWE since day one. But then when they were different from WWE, they weren't enough like WWE. But then when they became more like WWE, they were too much like WWE. So they were doomed from day one when it came to fans, and especially now that we've gotten into the fans of changing opinions. And especially the like over analytical fans per se. I think it's frustrating. But anyway, let's jump into the show. Rebellion. Did you watch pre-show at all?
I did watch a pre-show, but it's not really worthy talking about, like the pre-show. Yeah, the pre-show.
So you're not. So you're saying the pre-show was not good to great?
No, the pre-show wasn't good to great, but the actual show was good to great.
All right. So we started off the actual show with ABC, which is Ace Austin and Chris Bay.
And no, we're not doing our ABCs right now.
Not yet. After the show, we might. We might see if we both can do them. But Ace Austin and Chris Bay versus the Motor City Machine Guns for the tag team titles in Ultimate X. Very good match, and it's kind of perfect. It was the perfect type of match for these type of athletes. I think. I don't know if you can do an Ultimate X as well when you have other guys, but these guys, this group of guys together, I think was perfect. I felt like the ending was a little bit kind of it was just like anticlimactic a little bit, just because for whatever reason it felt like there was this big struggle to get the belts, and then uh, when Chris Bay pulled him down, it wasn't like this big moment. It was just kind of like, oh well, he finally pulled him down. About time, because that's kind of one of the weird like ladder spots, the weird like Ultimate X type spots that happen where it's like, okay, pulling the titles down is not that difficult, but suspend our disbelief here for a little bit. But definitely a good match. Cool to see that ABC retained, getting a win over a legendary pair in the Machine Guns. And I like ABC a lot. I don't know if they're faces or heels right now, because I feel like Ace Austin is always a heel, but he's changed his hair around and all this, so he might be a face now. You know how the hair goes. But Justin, what was your thoughts on the opening contest?
I thought it was a really good opening match here. And it seems like, well, the Bullet Club, they're doing more face stuff right now, and I could definitely tell in this match here, with the Mercy Machine Guns, working over, Ace Austin's leg during
Can
the
I ask a
match.
question real quick? Is Jay White still in the Bullet Club?
No, he got kicked out of the Bullet Club.
So who's the like leader of the Bullet Club?
I think it's like, is Jay White is he still part of the Bullet? I think I think he might be.
Because
But
I
then he
mean,
did
but he's
this
doing
like,
heel stuff.
what's that?
What he's doing heel stuff, I guess, was my issue. Yeah.
That's true, because like with all the stuff he's doing in AEW, but I mean, people are cheering, the Bullet Club here, ABC here, and people are so behind them. I mean, people have always been behind Bullet Club a lot. But it seems like Ace Austin and Chris Bay, they're being more faces and stuff, and it seems like the script was flipped here. Like I said, with Motor City Machine Guns, they working over Ace Austin's leg, and then working over, was it no, it was Chris Bay's leg, and then working on Ace Austin's arm. It seems like that's something Hills would do. But you had a lot of high flying spots in this match. I like the whole finisher that the Bullet Club do, or ABC does, with like the art of finesse into the fold. That's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of do agree how the ending was kind of anticlimactic, which I thought they were going to do their whole finisher spot again, with the art of finesse, but he got popped up to the 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 wire or whatever it is, that holds the ultimate, or holds the titles.
Yeah.
And it took Chris Bay forever to grab those titles down, like he said. Like he was struggling. I mean, it's hard grabbing two title belts down. It's easier grabbing
one pretty easy, but two,
you're on the whole nother level. But no, it was a good match though.
Next up, we had the Design versus Joe Hendry, Dirty Dango, and Santino Marella, which was it was cool to see Santino back. I like the design a little, for lack of a better term, redesign of Violent by Design. I like them a lot. I like that they kept that group going, and I like that Diener has a prominent role in it, because like he was kind of not the weak link per se, but for a little bit there he was kind of the guy who was forgotten about a little bit, and now he's the guy who's running the whole thing, which is cool. And I don't know why I thought that I think it would have been cool to see. I like that Callahan turn, but I think Callahan's better as a heel. He looks horrible bald, but anyway, I think I like him better as a heel. I would have almost rather him turn on Diener, like the whole design turn on Diener and like kick Diener out to a certain degree. But I mean, on the other hand, I like Diener as the leader of Design, so I can't have my cake and eat it too. But this was good. It was cool to see Santino hit the Cobra again. He looked like he was in good shape, and it was probably in better shape than he probably has ever been. But this was really good. Of course, Dirty Dango's fun. Joe Hendry's fun. This was a good match. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought it was a fun match. Joe Hendry, he's been growing on me lately. Like he's so trendy. Like when everybody like waving their hands. Seems like the whole like new like he's kind of like a new Bo Dallas. Where Bo Dallas used to do I believe, and we all did the believe stuff, and now we believe. I thought that was pretty cool what they're doing, Joe Hendry, and I saw this turn coming from a mile away. Like I saw Callahan turning on Diener, which it seems like I don't know. It seems like they love to bury some teams in Impact here. I don't know why. It seems like they don't really like factions that much. I mean, except if they're the aces and eights. I mean, they made them dominant. But like with Violent by Design and then the design, it seems like they're like always on like the losing end of every show I watch. I don't know if you feel the same way, but you haven't been watching the same way.
I mean, from what I know, so like from what I know, I think by design did well, but it was hard because sometimes sometimes I feel like in order to make a faction uh worth a darn, you have to give them titles.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric Young had already had the world title, so he couldn't go after that again. And they had just introduced the King of the Mountain version 8 digital media title. They had just introduced that, so there was not a lot you could. I mean, I just feel like there wasn't a lot they could do after he had already won the world title and then lost it. But because they were trying to, I can't remember who they were trying to give it to back then. I think it was Alexander. Um,
Yeah, I think
it's
you're
been a
yeah.
while, but I mean, I don't know. I think they were a good group. I think Eric Young made them a good group, and I think they're still a good group. I think sometimes it's a little sporadic. Like the people who end up in it. Like I understand the storyline with Diener. Joe Doran was kind of like the heavy, like that. All that made sense. Eric Young. I mean, this is the kind of the he kind. This was kind of the heel stuff he was doing before he left. Uh, but at the same time, like where's cousin Jake and why is he not reunited with Diener and why wouldn't that be the first person he would try to call on or try to recruit? So I mean, some of it just doesn't make sense sometimes, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I personally like them, and I don't think they necessarily have been getting buried, but I could probably understand why you would say that. You've watched a
Mm-hmm.
little more than me anyway, so
But yeah, I thought it was a good match, and with Diener, like not letting Callahan do like the thumbs up, thumbs down, not letting him
yeah,
do that. Um, and also, like I said, Joe Hendry, he was over here, throwing a lot of people around left and right. Santino was looking good. He hit the Cobra on Diener, pinned him to get the win. So, I mean, it was good stuff here. I
yeah,
enjoyed it. And Dango, he looked good. It was a fun match.
yeah. And I mean, Dango is Dango, so it'll be interesting to see like what Dango's character and what Dango's character's always been. Uh, can you take him seriously? That's the other thing about that too. Like when you're a dancing character, how seriously can I take you? But well,
I mean, he's been doing on Weekly Impact. He's kind of been doing some goofy stuff, like with Santino being the head of like director of authority, or
I
he
think
had,
so. Yeah,
and then I think Dirty Dango, he was calling himself like the dictator of authority or something like that, or something like that. It was hilarious. Like Fandango's doing his, or Dirty Dango's doing his funny gimmick here.
yeah.
But yeah,
Next up, we had Eddie Edwards versus PCO in the last rights match. Practically a casket match for those of you
yep.
who don't watch Impact, and not that they do them very often. So I mean, don't get me wrong. I probably wouldn't have known what a last rights match was either. But um, to me, I thought it was good. It was hard hitting. It was personal. It had you know interference and whatnot when needed. Um, and I think PCO got the win, which I think he should. But I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with PCO. PCO reminds me of like I guess like Crazy
Abyss.
Steve. Yeah, maybe Abyss, but like maybe not as dominant though. Like he
Yeah.
reminds me of a forced Abyss maybe. He kind of reminds me of like Crazy Steve in a way. Like he's like a big Crazy Steve. That'd be an interesting tag team. But I mean, I just don't know what they're gonna do with him. That's kind of my issue because he was in Honor No More and all that and whatnot. But But then at the same time, like I don't know what they're gonna do with Eddie Edwards either.
Eddie Edwards seems like he's just another indie wrestler. Like he's just wearing green stuff, and I love how people are chanting, Boston sucks. I like how they're
Yeah,
doing it because I mean those fans are right. Boston does suck.
facts, facts. But what was your thoughts on the last Rice match?
Um, yeah, this was one match I didn't care about, but I ended up still watching the match anyway. Um, and once again, I mean PCO he tore his shoulder again, or what was it? He dislocated his shoulder once
Yeah,
again because like
which I guess is the thing he can do, right? I would hope.
I jeepers like when I saw that bone pop out, I got oh my
I
god.
hope he's double jointed in the shoulder. If not, then
Because like he did that in the match. I think it was against
he's got to be double jointed. There's no
I
way
think it
he's
was
just like
against
tearing his.
Moose a
He
while
just
back, and
dislocated
like
himself.
he dislocated it in that match also. So I don't like. DJ said I hope he's double jointed because if he's not, then I don't know what to tell him. It looked bad. Um, I mean, yeah, there are some pretty hard hitting spots in the match. I mean, Alicia Edwards, she ended up bringing that shovel out, which this feud has been going on for so long. Ever since.
Every time I tune in and I see Alicia Edwards, not that I don't like her, but she is on a different side of the fence every time I tune in. She loves Eddie Edwards. She's against Eddie Edwards. This is not you, Eddie, but I love you, Eddie. You're my husband. You have my babies. I don't understand. I don't get it. I'm confused. And they go back and forth on whether she's loyal to Eddie. Like, if they like, I don't know. Sometimes I just think they should just go with because to me, it's never helped for her not to be loyal to Eddie. Like it just hasn't, because like they're married. So
Yeah.
like she's gonna do what it takes for their family to be successful at this point. Like I don't understand it. But anywho.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. And I mean I didn't really like the shovel spot that much because I mean, yes, I understand like this is like where the feud kind of stems from, like because they did this like whole buried in Las Vegas thing or buried in the desert where PCO got buried, which I thought that was gonna be the end of the rivalry. This was like I don't know, maybe back in January or something. I can't remember. It was like probably back in January, maybe. And then PCO comes back, and then they fight in the desert again in Las Vegas. And I think Eddie Edwards gets the upper hand again. Eddie Edwards got the upper hand on most of this feud, so it was right for PCO to win here. But as you said, DJ, like I don't know really what they do with both of these guys. Like also Eddie Edwards, he needs his character change. Like he needs a reboot of his like character because like I say, this looks like a generic indie wrestler.
I don't know what they would do with him though, because all of his heel runs have been just like he just feels just like typical heel, like and I mean the typical heel, there's nothing wrong with that, but like it's just like it doesn't fit him. He fits more of the underdog, anything is possible Eddie more than I think he does a heel. It just never fits. Like I don't know. I mean,
I wish they would bring back Davey Richards, and they could do the American.
Wasn't he in like legal trouble or something?
I think so. Yeah. I think so. I just don't understand what they're gonna do with Eddie Edwards, and then PCO. I think his time's coming to an end here. Like, I feel like that's why he didn't go back to Ring of Honor, because we already had the Kingdom go back to Ring of Honor. Like I don't know how old PCO is, but he seems like he's pretty old though. Maybe.
Yeah, he does seem older, but
in his like 50s. But yeah, I mean it was okay match for what it was though.
All right, next up we got the X Division Championship triple threat match. It was Mike Bailey, the Speedball, Jonathan Gresham, and Jonathan Gresham, not Speedball. You know what I'm saying? Mike Bailey, Jonathan Gresham, and Trey Miguel. I before this show didn't realize that Trey Miguel was a heel until I realized he was a heel. So I don't know how that happened. Justin, you might have to fill me in on that one. But
yeah, to be honest, I don't know how that happened either, because like there was one point where I was kind of lost with what was going on with Impact. I wasn't watching like on a consistent basis.
I'm not mad about it by any means. Like, I think
and also, Trey Miguel, like he spray painted the title. Like I think the fans like cheered on him, and then he spray painted the title, and then like he was disrespecting a lot of women backstage. And he was also spray painting a lot of, other wrestlers and stuff. I think he was doing it like the
He
crazy
was still
Steve first.
he was doing the thing that
The NWO
the
does.
Outcasts do
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
AEW.
The Outcast. Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I like him as a heel. I do. And I mean, I thought this was good. It was cool. It was elimination. Um, they hate Jonathan Gresham. We all know this. But I think it was good though. It was very good. I enjoyed it. I had a feeling the title was going to change hands, but it didn't. So I'm not mad about it. I like Trey Miguel a lot. He found a way to win by hook or by crook, and that's how you got to do it. There was some cool spots in the match too that, uh, you know, I think it was like like type spots. But this was good. I mean, three good workers in the ring at the same time. Can't hate on that. Justin, what was your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought this was a really good match here. I'm a big fan of Jonathan Gresham, which I thought that Jonathan Gresham was going to be winning the title here, but
I think he's too short.
he's too short. He's too small. But I mean, Mike Bailey's small too. Trey Miguel, they're all pretty small, but like I think Jonathan Gresham, he's shorter than both of them. But yeah, I mean, it was a definitely solid match. I like how it was elimination style. I like how Jonathan Gresham and Mike Bailey, they were just like going at it. And then when Trey Miguel got involved, they all turned their attention towards Trey Miguel. I thought they were going to try to eliminate Trey Miguel right at first. And then it'd be coming down, then it would go down to like Jonathan Gresham and Mike Bailey, but that didn't end up happening. Trey Miguel, he won by hook or by crook. He did like a meteor off the top rope on the Jonathan Gresham and pinned him first, while Mike Bailey had him in the figure four leg lock. So I thought that was a nice spot there. And then Mike Bailey ended up getting like it wasn't a small package, but he ended up getting rolled up by Trey Miguel. So Trey Miguel retained the title. It was nice, different, like a lot of nice reversals, a lot of nice counters in this match. It was a fun match. He had some nice high spots in this match as well. So it was fun. It was fun.
Team Bully, Team Dreamer. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, man. I mean, Hardcore War. This match was crazy. This is what you expect out of Hardcore War. Gosh, I'm trying to remember like a lot of spots that have in this match, like really good spots. Oh, I mean, we had who was it? Killer Kelly. With her with the staple gun in the match,
Yeah.
with her just at one point
everybody.
she stapled Moose's ding ding. That was crazy. That was a crazy spot.
Not the ding ding.
We also saw a cheese grater in the match. That was crazy. I mean, we did see the pizza cutter, which then that was kind of a shame. I wish we got that.
And sponsored by Domino's.
Sponsored by Domino's. Bully Ray, he was doing his typical stuff in this match, being the prick that he is, and how he doesn't respect women, because chivalry is dead. He don't respect women here.
Can I say this? I love Bully Ray so much. I mean, like I don't know why. I hate that we haven't gotten as much of Bully Ray as we should. Because, of course, he kind of had his coming of age in Impact when he won the title, when he became Bully Ray and the Aces and Eights and all that. But then he left and went to WWE, and they never really went with it because they didn't want him to be called Bully. And then he was kind of gone for a little bit, like I hate that I love Bully Ray, like the character Bully Ray, the way he talks, the way he addresses people, he's just so good. Like, I mean, honestly, I think he's one of the more underrated guys in like the history of wrestling, because he's just so good, so believable, and for a guy who just felt like he was the dumb dude from the Dudleys to become what he's become, I think is crazy. But I mean, yeah, I mean, just we missed out so much. But I mean, my thoughts on this match, yeah, it was crazy. There was some crazy stuff with the staple gun and her stapling herself was, you know, good enough. Um, I like I like kind of Bully just does not respect anybody, women included. He just does not care. He wants to power bomb someone through a table every time that he is in any match at all. And I thought it was good. It was a fun match. It was what you expect from Dreamer, what you expect from uh Bully Ray, and I kind of felt like the teams were kind of random. Like they were just random people they threw
Like
together.
Bupenda Gujar and like who was it? Yu Uemura, and then
Yeah, like it just even I mean, like I get that Team Bully's team was just a team of heels, but it still was I don't know, it was random for me being away from Impact and then coming back to Impact, and which, I mean, it's not the greatest just so y'all know, don't watch the first episode of a show and then watch the fifth episode of a show and expect to understand everything. That's just how I do it. But, like it's just like, it's one of those things where I'm like, hey,
and then you also had the good hands, Skylar and Hodge. They come out to help out Bully Ray's team because originally they were the match, but then they got like, well, we need to get Moose and Brian Myers on the show. So, it was crazy that Moose and Brian Myers didn't have a match until like the go home show. It's crazy. Like these two big stars, they don't have a match. So I feel like that's why they got put in this match here. Uh, I also like the referee spot, with like when Bully Ray told the referees to hold the ladder.
Mhm.
I love that, but
Yeah,
and
that was
then
hilarious.
the referees refused to do that,
And
and
it was funny how they
they all
kind
beat
of
up on him.
flipped it around and helped Dreamer get
Help Top
get up
Dreamer.
the ladder.
I love that. So they held the ladder for him, and Tommy Dreamer did a nice splash through the table on the Bully Ray, and that's how Team Dreamer won.
Yep.
After seeing that emotional promo, backstage with Tommy Dreamer's team and him, I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah, Team Dreamer is definitely gonna be winning here because Bully Ray throughout this feud, he's had most of the upper hand on Tommy Dreamer. He's always been like one step ahead of him.
Yep.
So yeah, Tommy Dreamer's team was definitely gonna begin to win. And it was nice seeing Frankie Kazarian in the match here. There was this one nice cutter through the through a table that was a nice spot during the match. There was this one wet spot in the ring. I got like, is that blood? Is that a whole bunch of blood? But I saw someone threw a water bottle in the ring. Like I
Of
think it was
course.
like I think it was Brian Myers. He like threw a water ball in the ring. I got okay, that's what it was. But I mean, Brian Myers, he was gushing out a lot of blood in this match. He had a lot of blood. I mean, it wasn't like blood and guts, but it was pretty crazy. I mean, there was a lot of anarchy. This is what you call pure fuckery. That's what this match was. But it was fun. You got any
Um,
more you want to add about this match?
I think that's it for this one.
Cool, cool, cool.
Next up, we had the Impact World Championship match: Steve Macklin versus Kushida. Like I said before, I've enjoyed how they built up Steve Macklin, but I did not expect him to win this match. I learned of the results of this match through spoiler, but I did go back and watch the match, and it was good. I like Kushida going for his arm bar the whole time, like trying to work the arm, trying to weaken it, trying to find any sort of way. Like even I think Macklin had him in like a fire and carry type position. He still tried to work through and get the arm, which I always like. But I mean, like I said, I was surprised that Macklin won this match. It was a good match. It was good. It had uh, some good false finishes in it, but it was a good match. But I felt like and it's weird because I don't know if I felt like Kushida was going to win this match either. I don't know if Impact was really ready for a new champion yet. To be honest, I don't think they prepared for. I mean, who prepares for injury? But I don't think they prepared for Josh Alexander to not have the title this quickly. Um, and I'm not saying that either one of these guys would be or are transitional champions, but I don't know. It wasn't given, and maybe it will as they go along. Maybe it will as they build Macklin character more and more, but we'll see. I did like the part at the end, after the match where he kind of demanded, hey, Scott D'Amore, get your butt down here and hand me you hand the title over to me because you said I couldn't do this. I did like that. And I mean, I like Steve Macklin. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But and I like Magnus getting involved too after Macklin attacked him from behind. Nick Aldis, I should say. I like him getting involved and could set up a pretty good feud between the two, which could end up with Nick Aldis winning the title in 3 months. But anyway, we'll see.
He could probably win it at Slammiversary.
Maybe, yeah. What was your thoughts on the Rebellion? Not main event, but the event. I thought that was
the co-main event.
Sure.
Yeah, I thought this match was really enjoyable. Like before, this match was before, Josh Alexander got injured and they had Josh Alexander going up against Steve Macklin for the title. Like, you know what? I feel like it's Steve Macklin's time to win the title. Like, regardless, like I feel like he was going to be the one to take the title off of Josh Alexander. But unfortunately, we weren't not able to see that right now. We didn't know if that was, the original plan to put the title on Steve Macklin. But as it goes for this match, I thought this match was really enjoyable. I like the, in-ring psychology that both guys were doing in this match. Especially Kushida, just working over the arm of Steve Macklin a lot, trying to lock in that hoverboard lock and, just work over Steve Macklin quite a bit. I thought was good. Kushida, had that dog in him. He, never gave up. And no, I'm not talking about Braun Breaker. I'm not talking about that dog in him. But Kushida didn't give up and stuff. I enjoyed that. But yeah, Steve Macklin, ended up winning by the KIA, which is good. And then also, yeah, you mentioned Nick Aldis. He was on commentary. He's made his return to Impact Wrestling. I don't know when the last time he was in Impact. Probably maybe like 10 years ago, or something like that. Yeah, so it's been a while since Nick Aldis has been in Impact, so that's cool to see him back. Yeah, but and then also, like you said, Steve Macklin, him demanding that Scott D'Amore hands the title to him.
Yeah.
And then, I think like that's where the next feud we're going to be getting is Steve Macklin and Nick Aldis. Because, I mean, they need that top dominant heel, which, not saying that Kuchida could be, a good baby face, but it's like better when you have a heel as a champion where a baby face could do the chase for the title. It's all, and we're not talking about the chase on our podcast. We're not talking about that chase. or Cassie. Maybe sometimes. But yeah, Steve Macklin, it was nice that he won the Impact World title.
All right, main event, the real main event.
The real main event.
Deonna Purrazzo, the Virtuoso, and the Juggernaut, not Justin.
Hey, no. I see. Here we go. I need to get copyright. I need to get some money over to me because I have been the real Juggernaut before she was Juggernaut. She's copyright infringement is real here, guys.
So Jordynne Grace versus Deonna Purrazzo. Jordynne Grace looks amazing. Honestly, like, I like the whole respect feud and I'm cool with it, but Jordynne should have turned heel, won the darn title, and finally got her win over Deonna Purrazzo in this match. Honestly, because like the way Jordynne Grace looks, and just like how impressive her physique is now, like number one, she should be rewarded for that. But number two, like, I mean, imagine how good of a dominant run she could have if she went with that, And I think, I don't know what they're waiting on. I don't know why I need her to be a heel that beats everybody up and is stronger than everybody and nobody can touch. Like, that needs to happen. I love Deonna Purrazzo. Think she's one of the best. We talked about this plenty of times throughout our reviews, throughout our time watching Impact, and having Deonna Purrazzo being champion. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I will say, I think Jordan Grace deserves a really good heel run, like not a face run where she's just a generic face that we're all happy to see. No. I need a heel Jordan Grace run. I need like maybe this will set that up. Like, you can't beat me. You can't beat me. And she kind of has to do whatever it takes to beat her. And it creates a really good feud out of it. I think they should do it, because I think Jordan Grace, with just the way she is, and she can show her physique pictures from Instagram, and I'm more shredded than you, like I'm better than you. You just somehow keep getting lucky. This needs to happen. They need to do this. It needs to happen. But great match, by the way. Just really good. Really, it's you can tell these two women know each other, and they have wrestled before, and they wrestled in big time matches before. I think they're both really good. I like Jordan Grace a lot. I like Deonna Purrazzo a lot, as I've said plenty of times. And I hope this continues. I really do. Because I don't know what they do if it doesn't continue. To be honest, I don't know another knockout on the roster. So, Justin, who you got? Who you got? Not who you got. This match has already happened.
You know
what? Was
what?
your
See,
thoughts?
no. We do the review here. We do the review first, and
we did
we
a
predict
review
the
before, and then that's right. I forgot how we
it's
do
always
this.
flip flop. Okay, but no, this match was great here. Both women have great chemistry in the ring together. Um, I'm happy that Deonna Purrazzo won here. I'm happy that they're having her more as a babyface now. Because Deonna Purrazzo works both great as a heel and as a babyface. But yeah, I'm happy that Deonna Purrazzo won, and I definitely agree that they need to turn Jordan Grace heel, because she just has a whole physique about her. With all those big muscles, and with her being how dominant she is. She seems like she's a natural heel.
Yeah.
Then she just comes off as a heel to me. Like I said, I thought it was a great match.
I mean, she's not just smiley old Jordan anymore. Like, she can
Mm-mm.
be like a really dominant heel now, I think.
Yeah, which I have a feeling that's going to be coming here. Coming very soon. What else? Like I said, the in-ring chemistry was great with each other. Like you said, DJ, you could tell that they've been, had some really big time matches with each other. Like, I remember that match a few years ago, the Iron Woman match, like that. I think it was an hour match where they went down to the final few seconds. That was great that year. So these women had some great rivalries over the years. Like, they have that chemistry. But yeah, I'm happy Deonna Purrazzo won. And then now we got our champions couple here. We got our powerhouse, or the what do they call it, our
Power couple. I've
our
heard
power couple there. There we
I've
go.
heard a lot of people say they're probably going to go with Grayson Gresham versus Purrazzo and Macklin. I've heard a lot of people mention that they might go that direction.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see that. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at it at all. Because Jordan Grace and Gresham are together.
I forgot Tasha Steelz was back.
Yeah. She just returned as a babyface. Because she was going up against Giselle Shaw and Savannah Evans, because Giselle Shaw was with Savannah Evans.
I feel like they'll probably do that at some point too, like have Giselle Shaw be the champion at some
And
point.
they kind of did a little mini feud with Deonna Purrazzo and Giselle Shaw, with her being how stuck up she is and stuff.
Yeah.
But after this match, there was something I was hoping for, which I still think we could possibly get in the future. Because they announced that they're going to be having another Multiverse United with New Japan Professional Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So I was hoping maybe Mercedes Moné will come out. That would have been huge if Mercedes would came out. But I think she was I don't know if she was in Philadelphia for that. Capital Collision with New Japan. I don't know if she was there for that show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think we're going to be getting Mercedes Moné coming to Impact soon. Because I feel like she's going to try to hit all these, other companies. I mean, she's definitely going to be showing up to AEW eventually. Maybe towards I don't know, maybe towards Forbidden Door.
Sometime. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. With that, I did have a question, not Impact related, but AEW related. Do you think there's any truth to these CM Punk return to AEW rumors?
I mean, I definitely think it's true. I feel like having CM Punk in the wrestling business is good is good to have him there, even though he is controversial. Like I'm still a fan of Punk no matter what.
I mean, is he controversial or is everybody else around him controversial?
I think it's everybody else that's like more sensitive that's controversial. Yeah, it's everybody else around him.
Throwing it out there, like just saying.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said before, I mean, for me, I mean, there's so much money to be made.
I mean,
From
you could have Omega, and then you can have a Punk feud. You know what I mean?
the thing is, here's my thing about it. There's so much money, and just what you said. There's so much money to be made between Punk and people of his choosing versus the Elite. That's one that's going to make you a lot of money. There's another one that can make you a lot of money, which would be um, Punk versus Omega. I think we both know Punk versus Omega as a singles match would make you a lot of money. You got the Punk Hangman stuff you can still run with, but also like there's so many there's missing pieces too. Um, Punk versus Danielson would be good.
Hmm.
That's another one that you got. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty more that I'm not even thinking about right now. I mean, just like I think the promos with Punk and Jericho would be good.
Oh,
Just the
most
build up for
definitely.
that would be good. I mean, just there's so much they could do with Punk, um, and the money to be made is right there, and it's easy it's just for the taking. Like, I think the Bucks, I think the Elite, even Punk, if he has a side in this or whatever, swallow your pride, go make some money because I mean you're gonna like this is your moment.
This
You
is
know,
his last kind of like opportunity to do something big,
yeah, and
in my opinion.
I mean he's getting older. And honestly they screwed it already because you literally had one of the best returns in the last decade,
Hmm.
if not more, honestly. I mean, in wrestling history, let's just be honest, right? I mean, Punk's return is one of the biggest in wrestling history.
I mean, everybody was watching Rampage, for once,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even me, like I don't even know where I was.
I remember
I
where it
was I
was.
was like at a fair or something, like not a fair, but like I was at an event and I turned it on so I could listen to it while I was at this event because I wanted to see if it was really gonna happen because it's one of those believe it when you see it type moments. So
I remember where I was. So it was. So when did he debut? He debuted in August. So yeah. So I was at the Iowa State Fair. I remember that night, and I look on social media and I see CM Punk's trending, and like I see that he made his debut. Like I got on my phone and I watched him, do his whole entrance and all that, and then I went on the AEW shop. I went to shop AEW. I'm buying that T-shirt. I have to get that T-shirt right now before it
yeah,
sells out. And I got my hands on, one of the first Punk shirts, like that it came back. So I was so happy, but I definitely think that Punk is going to be returning here very,
we'll
very
see.
soon.
Like I said, I'll believe it when I see it. But anyway, um, final thoughts as we leave the good people.
I mean, it was a good show,
Yeah, it was pretty good. My only final thought is be sure to subscribe to uh, Juggernaut 097 and also the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, whether whichever one you're watching on at the moment. Also, remember the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast is on all your favorites audio platforms. So Spotify, Apple Podcast, Spotify for podcasters, Google Podcast, all them crazy ones. There's so many.
Ankle podcast.
Ankle pod. Since they did away with Anchor, we're gonna have to. I mean, Ankle podcast should be a real thing. So I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there.
It's sponsored by Kurt Angle.
That's true. It makes your ankle hurt. But anyway,
Make the ankle hurt.
anyway, we will see you guys on the next one. I'll put it on the screen one more time just so you guys know. We'll see you guys on the next video. Hopefully it won't be too long. Hopefully, but anyway, definitely thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time.